Okay, so today we're going to talk about angle addition. Yesterday you guys talked about measuring angles and naming angles. So today we're going to talk about angle addition. So angle addition you're going to use when an angle, a whole angle, is made up of two parts. Okay, in the ones we did yesterday there was just one angle the whole time, but now if I look at this picture I can see that angle ABC is the whole, so I'm going to label that whole. Okay, but I can see that that whole angle has two smaller angles on the inside, and one of them is angle ABD. That's a smaller angle, so that's a part. And I can see that the other angle is angle DBC. Okay, and so the idea is still, just like when we did segment addition, is that when you add these two parts, these two smaller angles together, that they're going to add up to the whole thing. So I can still use the equation part plus part equals whole. Okay? So we're still using that idea. So it's not going away. All right, let's see that in practice. So number one is asking for angle ABC. So if I look at this picture, I'm going to trace over ABC. ABC, is that a part of an angle or is it the whole angle? In this picture, I can tell that's the whole, so I'm going to label it whole. And do I know how much it is right now? No. Okay. I do know that there's a 70 degrees on the inside from A to B to D. That's a part, that's 70. And I can tell that there's another smaller angle on the inside of ABC, and it's the 45, so that's also a part. So if I use part plus part equals whole, I'm abbreviating to make life easier, part plus part equals whole. I don't know the whole. I'm going to put question mark. I don't know it. Okay? I do know the two parts, so I can put 45 was one of the parts and 70 was the other part. So what do? I just add them together to figure out what the whole thing is. So 70 plus 45 is 115. So that is adding up to angle ABC. When I add those together, it gives me the whole thing. So my answer, angle ABC equals 115. Okay? That's all you gotta do. Figure out parts. If it's two parts, add them together. If I look at the next question, it's telling me in this one that angle ABC, so ABC, all of that is 120. Okay, so that's from here all the way to here. I'm going to put like a little arrow out here. That's 120. Okay? And I know that that 120, that's the whole angle. So I'm going to label that whole. Okay. This time they want to know angle DBC right here from D to B to C in there. Whatever it is, I know that's going to be a part, okay, because it's a smaller angle. It's not the biggest angle in the picture, okay? I also, in this picture, have that 23 degrees hanging out over there and that smaller angle, so I know that's also a part. So if I set up a part plus part equals whole, let's fill in what I know. I know one of my parts is 23, so I'm going to put that underneath a part. I know my whole is 120, so I'm going to put that underneath the W. Okay? The thing I don't know is this other part. So what am I going to put for that? Well, if it's something I don't know in an equation, I'm going to put X. Usually that's what we use to represent something we don't know. And there's no other X's in the picture. So how do I solve this equation? Well, I have to move 23 over to this left side. How do I move it? Subtract. Subtract. 23 cancels out. X is still here. 120 minus 23 is 97, I think. 97 degrees. Okay, so that's my missing part, was 97 degrees. Okay, so in a nutshell, you're either, oh, they either gave me both parts, so all I do is add, or they gave me a part and a whole, and so I'm going to subtract to get the other part. So all you're doing today is you're either adding two parts or you are subtracting a whole and a part. Please notice when I subtract, I did not get a negative number. None of your angles should be negative numbers. None of the answers you get should be negative. Okay? The last little bit is about the word bisect. So bisect is just a fancy way to say that it cuts something into two equal parts. Okay? So when it says BD, this line bisects angle ABC, it means it cuts it in half. So out of this whole thing, I know that this side, ABD, is going to equal, because this is a bisector, equals the other side. It's kind of like the word midpoint. When we have a midpoint on a segment, that means that both sides are equal. So when we say bisects on an angle, that's cutting that whole angle in half. So each side is the same. So in this question, it said ABC is 146. So ABC is all of this is 146. And we're bisecting it. We're cutting it in half. Because they want to know what's DBC. Well, DBC is the half over here. Okay, that's X. Okay. So, since it's bisecting, I can just do, 146. I'm doing half of it, bisecting it in half. 146 times a half is 73. I'm doing it in my head. I don't really know. 73, that's what we're going with, okay? So that is, this side is 73, and the other side is 73. Okay? So 73 is the answer for that one. And this one over here, it says NP bisects angle MNO. So that means that this smaller one and this smaller one are equal. You see when I put those little arc marks, that means that those two angles are equal. But I also like to put a little equal sign on that bisector. Okay? So it says the measure of angle PNO. PNO. Where is it? PNO. Is this little one down here is 25. And they want to know what's angle N, or the measure of angle MNO is the big one out there, okay? Well, to get the big one, if I knew both sides, if I knew this side and this side, then I could just add them up to get the big angle. But I do know that it's bisected, so I know if this side is 25, then I know that means that the other side, since it's bisected, is also 25. Just like when we're talking about midpoints and we know the one side, we fill in the other side. That's the same thing here, 25 and 25, which means if I want to know the whole thing, I do 25 plus 25. Or you can do 25 times 2. That'll do the same thing. Either way, you're going to get 50 degrees for that. 50 degrees. Okay? If you need to watch the video, go ahead. Otherwise, you're going to go ahead and start the quizzes.